Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. Giants versus Jets, joint practice number 1. The New York Giants went to Florham Park today to practice with the Jets, and we got a lot of notes. We got a lot of news. We got a lot of updates. Just want to say this. Started off pretty shaky for the offense for the New York Giants today. Pretty shaky. And then there were some other things that were happening with Banks versus Garrett Wilson. And again, we'll get into some of those notes. But first off, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. If you are a New York Giants fan and you are not subscribed to this channel, shame on you. Shame on you, but guess what? You can fix that by hitting that subscribe button right now. Without further ado, let's get into it. First off, injuries today. I was excited about joint practices, right? About the looks, the reps, the snaps, the challenge of it all. The Jets have a good defensive front. They have a good offensive line. They have some good weapons on the outside, running back crew. They got a lot of good players there. Outside of the quarterback room, for the most part, they got some good players over there. But kind of was deflated when I saw how many guys were not going to be participating in the practice. So first off, just running off some of these guys that didn't practice today. You have Malik Neighbors, of course, with the toe. Jalen Hyatt, Daquan Felton, that's the UDFA wide receiver. Cam Scatterbull, of course. Evan Neal, unfortunate. Drew Phillips, find out this is shoulder with Drew Phillips, probably on that first tackle that he made when he got ran over in the preseason game. But it looks like it's a shoulder for Drew Phillips. Trey Hawkins again. Corey Black, and then is it Daquan Flanagan Fowles is a linebacker that we picked up. Those two guys are working on the side. So a lot of players did not participate in this practice. And of course, the biggest name on that list is Malik Neighbors, which I believe he has been officially bubble wrapped until the season starts. Obviously, they're trying to maintain the toe. Obviously, it might be something more serious than we think. And right now, if you get the surgery, who knows how long he'll be out. So I think they're trying to avoid the surgery, or maybe he's even trying to avoid the surgery. And now they're just going to bubble wrap Malik Neighbors. That's just my opinion. You know what I say? Because he didn't get the surgery last year, I think it's going to be something that he absolutely does after this season. Give him the Plaxico Burress treatment. Remember Plaxico Burress? He would not practice all week. He'll just rehab and then play on Sunday. Go ahead and give Malik Neighbors the Plaxico Burress treatment. That's where I'm at right now. I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel about that. Would you give him the Plaxico Burress treatment, or what are we doing? And like I said, hopefully it's not as serious as some people think. Hopefully it's just load management, but there's got to be something. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And for me, it seems like there's something that has to be addressed in the offseason of 2026 when it comes to Malik Neighbors' toe. Brian Dable did say that also there will be no tackling in the joint practices. He made that clear at the podium today. Him and coach the Jets, Aaron Glenn, made it clear that there were going to be no tackling today. And that's pretty much it for the notes, man. The injury report letting us know who was not going to be playing, and then also, some of the structure of the practices. Outside of that, 7-on-7, 11-on-11, 1-on-1 drills, all that stuff happened today during those practices. Okay, let's get into some of these practice notes. So, with Malik Neighbors being out, and Bo Collins, we saw the return of Bo Collins. Bo Collins is getting those one reps. He reps with the ones with Malik Neighbors and Jalen Hyatt being out. We saw Bo Collins come back, had a couple good catches from Russell Wilson today in practice. Also, one of the main storylines was, especially early on in practice, they let it be known that Banks was not looking good against Garrett Wilson. Now, at some point in time, we've already had this conversation before, but at some point in time, the discussion has to be had when it comes to Tay Banks. And I think the fan base has already had that discussion. I'm wondering if, the coaches and the GM and the admin staff have had these conversations, whether or not, what life looks like, possibly, without throwing, Tay Banks out there as the CB2. And again, we're still early in the summer. There's still 2 preseason games left and a lot of practice left. But let's be honest. We have not been encouraged with what we've seen from Tay Banks so far. Even the good plays, he's had, and he's had some, spread out around. Even the good plays, you keep going back to, a lot of these wide receivers, and not just the star wide receivers. You got some guys that probably won't make the team for some of these guys that are able to make these plays on Tay Banks. So got to keep an eye out for that. Again, the fans have already had this discussion. I know some people have mentioned possibly pursuing Asante Samuel Jr. and stuff like that, but we'll see what happens with that. But again, the elephant in the room, there's a big elephant in the room when it comes to Tay Banks. So 7-on-7, got some results from the 7-on-7. Shout out to Bobby Skinner. He said Russell Wilson went 6 for 8. Dart went 6 for 6. Fields went 5 for 5 in 7-on-7. So they did say in the early reports that Fields did look pretty sharp. He had some pretty good throws out there against our defense. And again, Garrett Wilson was a guy I think Garrett Wilson got like 3 straight receptions against Tay Banks. So again, that's during 7-on-7. They also said that our offensive line, after having a strong preseason debut, got brought back to reality a little bit today. They struggled against this Jets defensive line early on 11-on-11s. And just want to get my notes out. It says that early O-line struggles versus Jets. In the first series, you got 2 sacks, a holding call, a pass that was batted down. That might be more on the quarterback than it is the offensive line. The offensive line struggled against the Jets defensive line early in practice. They did have a better second series. But the bright side for our defense, Abdul Carter continued doing Abdul Carter things. So that was a bright spot. Also, again, with all these reports about how the Jets looked against our offense, there was a tweet that went out there that Jameis Winston actually, pulled players to the side, pulled the offense to the side, and was talking to them, giving them like a pep talk mid-practice. Now, there is no other sign that you need to let you know that you've been getting your butt whooped when you got to get a pep talk in the middle of practice. And that's exactly what Jameis Winston did. But guess what? It actually worked, and the offense went out there in the second series and did a lot better. Just going to get some more of these notes. Brian Burns got praise from a lot of Jets beat writers. They talked about Brian Burns looked good all day. He was given the offensive line headaches, and we already know Brian. Like with all the talk of Abdul Carter, all the talk of how good Abdul Carter has looked. For some people, even though we've heard that Brian Burns has been having a great, preseason in training camp, it kind of goes, unnoticed with all of the talk of Abdul Carter. But it was good to see that Brian Burns got some kudos, not from Giants beat writers today, which they also gave him some praise as well, but from also the Jet beat writers. That way is real when even the opposing team's beat writers are saying good things about Brian Burns. We had a quick incident where James Hudson had to get taken off of the field, ended up coming right back on. And what's crazy when it comes to James Hudson for me, and again, I'm a fan of Marcus Bowe. I think he can play both right and left side, and then he's pretty much proven that day after day, practice after practice. Do I still want to throw him out there to the Wolves? No, not really. But if James Hudson continues to have issues with staying healthy and on the field, and it's not anything serious. Every time he's walked off the field, he's walked back on. But you still have to look at that. Now, Andrew Thomas is the left tackle. Whenever he comes back, it is what it is. But in preparation of not seeing Andrew Thomas, you have to start looking at, okay, is James Hudson going to be the guy that we trust at left tackle while we're waiting on Andrew Thomas? Or should we look at Marcus Bowe as a possible replacement for James Hudson? Now, James Hudson did get a lot of money as far as guaranteed money with his contract. I believe he got the 2-year deal with some guaranteed money, so obviously he's going to be on the team. But again, I think we struck gold. I think we struck oil when it comes to Marcus Bowe. So again, with the offenses bouncing back in the red zone, you did have a touchdown from Russ to Theo Johnson. You also got a touchdown run by Singletary. Now there's conflicting reports. Some people said it was Singletary. They got the touchdown. I saw another report that said Tyrone Tracy got the running touchdown. But then you also got a touchdown from Russ to Darius Slayton. And for me, I'll throw the clip up. it's just a good read, quick read, great timing. Able to hit Darius Slayton on the crosser in the end zone. I think it was 2 defenders on there too, so Russ was able to throw a good ball in there to beat those 2 guys. Both defenses won the day. That's pretty much the story coming out of camp. Is both defenses won the day versus the offense. So are we surprised at that? I don't think we're surprised at that the defense is ahead of the offense right now. It's a little disappointing to hear sometimes because you do have a veteran like Russell Wilson out there. We did see some struggles today with Dart, even though he improved as well on the second series, but he had a snap that was fumbled a little bit. He had a batted ball as well. But again, it's growing pains, and a lot of people are coming off of this weekend where it was the high of highs going against the Bills, and now you know what? Let's get back to reality. Let's get back to working, and you know what? Everything has to be earned. Again, this season is about respect at the end of the day. Obviously, wins are going to be fantastic, but it's about respect and not being a laughingstock. So these guys are putting in the work every day, and they will continue to put in the work every day. And I can't wait. I can't wait till the real season starts when the games counts. But right now, we got the Jets in preseason game 2. I will say this. I still want to see the starters. Everybody not named Dexter or Neighbors. Everybody else, to me, I think needs to play, needs the reps, and the practice has proven that to me with day 1. Now we have day 2, and we'll be at Quest, the practice facility tomorrow, back in Giants at the Giants home. So we'll see what happens there. But today, again, just a quick recap. Offense struggled a little bit. The defenses played well. Defense won the day, and that's it right there. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys heard. If I missed anything, please let me know. And again, big shout out and kudos to all of the beat writers that were in the building, all of the other Giants content creators that were in the building for practice, giving us all the good updates and everything like that. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.
We got to